Chima. Malaki Agumadu joins us this morning. He's a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, when that matter was almost making the news, almost all the time, at the time, there were lots of unclear issues that needed to have been resolved. But we also spoke to you at the time, and you had spoken to us briefly on that matter. But lots of things have happened ever since then, including comments by preliminary report, as a matter of fact, from Human Rights Commission, after which she responded, after which you understand now that perhaps she's no longer in the government house, but it all just keeps going around in circles. But you followed all of these matters almost from when it started till today. What's your perspective of how the whole thing played out?
Well, first is to say that the issue clearly bothered some of us who have, to a large extent, shown to have tremendous interest in issues of human rights. It was also very interesting because it was happening around the corridors of power by those who probably will be better disposed for the protection not just of the human rights but the lives of every person, no less their immediate family and spouse. However, I think this whole thing has thrown up a lot of issues that need to be put in proper perspective. Otherwise, we will continually be led by the nose as the events unfold. First is that there has not been any denial, categorical denial by the governor of Enugu State up to this moment. The whole allegation leveled regarding the detention of Clara Chime has not been denied.
No, but
there was no statement as, repudiating the fact that this lady was kept in the government house. There was no statement repudiating the fact that she had attending to her medical personnel and been given, medications against her will. There was no denial of the fact that she was denied access to her son, and there was no denial of the fact that she suffered tremendously as a result of those 4 years of incarceration under, if you like,
4 months.
4 months, sorry, 4 months. Initially, I thought it was 4 weeks until I started reading the details. So these are issues that need to clearly come to the fore.
But did you read the comment by NHR, Human Rights Commission,
so what
about her having access to her son, having being in possession of keys to her rooms and things like that? So doesn't that contradict?
Well, I think that to a large extent the Human Rights Commission will be in a better position to throw more light on that. However, as it affects the Commission, one would say that being a clear human rights issue that bordered on the violation, or alleged violation of the rights of any person, it was well within their purview to intervene as they did. The way and manner it was managed may not have been completely in order, particularly when you read the comments of the chairman himself, who showed some resentment regarding what seemed to be a verdict on medical issues, in respect of which they had no clear mandate to deal with. So I would rather leave that to them if they will have the opportunity to react to that. But the issues, as far as I'm concerned, are clearly that the fundamental rights of this poor woman was clearly violated. Her right to personal dignity was violently attacked. Her freedom of movement was under siege. Her right to choice was attacked. Her right to association was also attacked. So from those perspectives, it became necessary that there should be an intervention. And I'm aware, I can say this categorically, I'm aware because I'm in touch with Mr. Femi Falana on this matter. Don't forget he was my principal. That this woman passed a clarion call to him, seeking that she should be rescued because she was literally dying in that place. And so, for a man like Mr. Falana, who have been recognized all over the world, on these issues of human rights. It came naturally that those interventions will be made. As we speak today, she's no longer in the government house.
Yes, we've heard that part of the story about how, she was taken to her mother's place somewhere, excuse me, in Enugu. But beyond Mrs. Chime, some people will say that this has come to the fore because the woman sought help. There are many women out there who will not seek help, especially when their husbands are prominent people or people in positions of authority. It was, while discussing this matter, that some other people thought to tweet at us and tell us about some other governors they have heard abuse their wives. I mean, some go as far as beating them up. Oh, how do women like that get to seek help?
Well, I think in her own case, she was lucky. First is to observe. I think I must make this point, that from the interactions, the ones I'm privileged to see, including written, documented records and reports of what she has said or the interviews she has had with persons and agencies, she comes across as a very intelligent woman. One that has not also lost her sanity, as is presently being alleged, but that she also took advantage and maximized all the means at her disposal to make sure that the world heard that she was dying. And I think that is not what is readily available to a number of women who face what you may call domestic violence in these so-called high places. But I want to also put it in perspective, and that's why I thank you for this question. When Governor Chime took ill in less than 5 months ago and spent 4 claimants abroad treating an undisclosed ailment, no person arrested him, detained him in solitary confinement, and pretended to be helping him when indeed you were acting against his will. How has it suddenly, meet his convenience that his own spouse would suffer this kind of, dehumanization, when indeed there are options, including flying her abroad like he did in his own case? Those are issues.